Hello everyone, and welcome back with me, Silviya Ningsih, with name 19, and I come from Central Sudirman University. And in this time, I will talk about a fixed expression and phrasal verb and a verb expression. Okay, and in this time, I will focus on the example of idioms that we can use in several situations. For the first, we have idioms connected with problematic situations, and we have idioms to be used in problems and difficulties. For example, to be in a fix, and the literal phrase is be in difficulty. And for the next example, to be in a tight corner, and the literal phrase is be in a situation that. And the last example is to be in a muddle, and it means be confused or mixed up. These three go together as all having B plus in plus A. And then there are writing in situations idioms. For the first, to take a backseat. It means not do anything, let others act instead, and it's opposite with to take the bull with the horns. And it means that act positively to face and take the problem. Okay, for the next example is to stir things up. And it means do or say things that make matters worse. And it's opposite with to pour oil and troubled waters, or it means do or say things that calm the situation down. And for the last example is to keep one's card close to one's chest, and it means hold back information. It's also opposite with idiom to lay one's cards on the table, or it means be very open, state exactly what your position is. For the next is idioms related to situations based on can. We have some example such as this has to be done by next week. We must get our act together before it's too late, and it means to organize ourselves to respond. And for the second example is we need a proper investigation to get a bottom of things, and it has meant find a true explanation for the state of affairs. For the third example is it's quite difficult to get people to sit up and take notice, and it means to make them pay attention. And the last example is I'm trying to get a grasp of what's happening. It's not easy, and it means find out or understanding something. For the last various is some idioms connected with easing the situation. And the example are the government and the unions have buried the head for the time being, or it means made peace or stop fighting each other. And second example is all that trouble last year was just swept under the carpet in the end, or it means ignored or deliberately forgotten without solving it. And the last is you should say sorry. It would go a long way, or it means it would help a lot. And then there are some kind of idioms connected with praise and criticism. A. Idioms connected with praise. We have the idioms to saying people or things are better than the rest. First example is Mary is head and shoulders above the rest of the girls, or she smiles better than the other girls. And it used usually of people. And then when it comes to technology, Japan is 3 ahead of most other countries. Or it means can be used. It can be used of people or things. And the last is when it comes to exam passes. This Johnson schools usually know spots of the other school, and it uses of people or things. And then there are idioms to saying people are good at something. Some expressions with idiomatic compound nouns and phrases and compound adjectives. For example, she is adept at carpentry just like her father. It's usually for manual skills. And the second example is when it comes to grammar, she's really on the ball, or it means no salad. And the third example is Bill has a way with foreign students. The other teachers envy him. And it means good at establishing good relations or motivating them. And the next is Marjorie really has green fingers. Look at these flowers. Or it means he is good in gardening. And the last example is let him do talking. He's gotta give up the gap. And it means he is good at talking. For the next idioms, we have idioms connected with criticism. Example, she thinks she's cat's whiskers, or the business. And it means thinks she's wonderful. And second example is he was dressed up like a duck's dinner. It means overdressed in showy wear. And the third example is when it comes to timekeeping, he's the world's worst, or it means no one is worse. And then I'm sorry, this essay of yours is a dark breakfast, or it means a mess or very badly done. And the next example is I think he's just trying to butter me up, and it has means give false praise in order to get something. And the last example is a pay rise and a company car. You want to jump on it. You do. Or it means have totally unreasonable expectations or demands. And don't remember. And remember, not these idiomatic synonyms of the verb to criticize. First, you shouldn't run down to your own country when you're abroad. And the next is why do you always have to be cautious in everything I say. Okay, for the next idioms, we have idioms connected with using language. In these idioms, we have idioms connected with communication problems. And for example, so see you then. Yes, the woman thinks that the day will be on Monday, but the man thinks that the day will be on Friday. For the example, the man at first thinks that the woman likes him, but actually she's not, and she said, "I really like you as a friend." He's got a wrong end of the stick. Okay, for the next idioms, we have good talk and bad talk. For example, the boss always talks down to us, or it means talks as we were inferior. And second is, my workmates are always talking behind my back, and it means saying negative things about me when I'm not there. And the third is, it was just small talk, nothing more. I promise. Purely social talk, nothing serious. And the next is, let's somewhere else. They always talk about lunch, and it bores me rigid. And it means talk about work. And for the next, hey, your new friends become really talking about it among staff. Did you know? And it means a subject that everyone wants to talk about. And the last example is, it's gone too far this time. I shall have to give him a talking to. Or it means a report or scold him. Okay, for the next idioms, we have the idioms to talk in discussions, meeting, and etc. Who's going to start the ball rolling? I want to speak my mind today. To put it in a nutshell, this is a waste of time. Direct so long-winded. I hope we wrap up discussion by 12:30. And I result was tax rubbish. I hope they got the point soon. And I hope Will speaks, he always talks sense. And for the first number, it's idiom to start the discussion. And for the second is to say exactly what I think. And the next is say it in a say it in a few words. And for the fourth is say things in a long, indirect way. And for the fifth is finish the discussion. And the sixth say stupid things. For the next is come to the important part of the matter. And for the last idiom is to say intelligent and reasonable things. Okay, for the next idioms we have idiom miscellaneous. We have idioms connected with paying, buying, and selling. Example: he bought a real pig in a park when he got a car, but something without examining it properly first. For the next question is, well, probably have to pay over the odds for a hotel room during the week of festival. Or it means pay more than usual rate. And the next example is he did €600 worth of damage to the car and his parents to foot the bill. Or it means pay up, usually in a large amount. Okay, for the next example, the restaurant was a real rip-off, or the taxi driver really ripped us off. Or it means made us pay much too much. And the last example, if I were you, I'd drive a hard bargain. This is the bread to buy a flat and funds yours, and it means as loud and embraces lowering the price. Okay, for the idiom miscellaneous, we have also idioms based on names of the parts of the body. For examples, I've got a song on the brain, just can't stop myself singing it, and it's located in my brain. For the next, he's made quite a bit of headway with his math lately, or it means he makes progress. And we had to pay through the nose for those tickets. We had to pay through the nose for tickets, or it means pay a huge amount. For the next, I hope you didn't mind me telling you. I just had to get it off my chest. Or it means tell something that's been bothering you a lot. For the next, you've got to hand it to her. She's a great singer. Or it means acknowledge or admit. And the last example of this idiom is, oh, he's got a finger in every pie. Or it means it's involved in many different things. For the next, we have proverbs, or it means peribahasa in the Indonesian. For the first, we have warnings, or advice, or morals, do's and don'ts. For example, don't count your chickens before they are hatched. And the paraphrase is don't anticipate the future too much. And the second example is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Or it means don't invest all your efforts or attention in just one thing. And the third is never judge a book by its cover. Or it means don't judge people or things by their outward appearance. And for the next example is never look a gift horse in the mouth. Or it means never refuse good fortune when it's there in front of you. And the last example of these proverbs or warnings or advice and morals, we have take care of the pains and the pounds will take care of themselves. And paraphrase is take care of small sums of money and they will become large sums. Okay, for the next we have visualizing. Example: as with learning all vocabulary, visualizing some element often helps. For example, there is no smoke without fire, or it means rumors are usually based on some degree of the truth. And for the next, too many cooks spoil the bird, or it means too many people interfering is a bad way of doing things. For the next example is people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, or it means don't criticize others' faults if you suffer from them yourself. And for the last example is many hands make light work, or it means a lot of people helping makes a job easier. Okay, for the last explanation for me, we have expression with to and make. Here are some of the most usual phrasal verbs based on to and make. For the first, we have to it, and it means need or want. An example, I could do it something to it. And for the second example is to it out, or meaning manage without. For example, we will have to do without a holiday this year as the money is too short. And for the third is to away with, or it means abolish. Slavery was not done away with until last century. And for the example is to out of. And the meaning is prevent from having by deceit. Example, he did me out of the rightful inheritance. And for the next example is make for, or it means move in a direction of. For example, let's make for the city center and find a restaurant on the way. And for the next expression with to and make, we have make of, or it means think or opinion. An example, what do you make of him? And we have also make of, and it means live hurriedly. An example, he made up as soon as he heard their car turn into the drive. And we have make up for, and it means compensate for. An example, the suburb food at the hotel made up for the uncomfortable rooms. And the last example of expression with to make is make up to. Be nice to in order to get. And the example is he made up to her until agreed to help. Okay, there are a lot of other common expressions based on to and make. We have the housework, or some gardening, or the washing up, or the homework, or your best, or the shopping, or the cooking, or the business with, and so on. And we have you make, or for arrangements on agreement, or suggestion, or a decision, or a cup of tea, or war, and attempt, or a phone call, or the best of blah blah blah, or an effort, or an accuse, or a mistake, or a bad, or profit, or a loss, and etc. Okay, thank you very much for giving your attention to me. I hope this video is have I'm sorry. I hope this video has the advantages for you to learn something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.